There's a quiet exhaustion that comes from constantly chasing more experiences, more productivity, more entertainment, more success. We've been told from a young age that a meaningful life is built through accumulation. Or on the other side of the next achievement, the next purchase, the next trip, the next pay rise. And yet, despite filling our calendars and trying to experience everything life has to offer, we still carry the same lingering feeling of it's not quite enough. You take your fourth holiday of the year, but you're already planning the next one before the current trip has ended. You optimize every hour in pursuit of productivity, only to feel empty once the work is complete. We have more access, more convenience, and more stimulation than any generation before us. Yet everything still feels so hollow. Perhaps the problem is not that we have too little. Perhaps it's that we have too much. And like all great paradoxes, maybe the secret to a more meaningful life is not chasing more, but intentionally chasing less. Because when everything is available all the time, nothing feels sacred. Nothing feels special. I remember as a kid going McDonald's or Pizza Hut felt like the biggest treat because it felt so rare, but now it's just a click away. So what if we became that kid again by placing intentional restrictions? Not as punishment, but as a way of restoring value and joy from the smaller things in life. For example, rather than cramming in your fifth holiday this year, what if you could only do one trip across the entire year? Suddenly, travel becomes intentional again. Each trip begins to feel like your very first. You begin to appreciate the moments more deeply because you know they're rare. And the same goes for almost anything in life. Abundance breeds carelessness, but limitation creates intention. However, that's not the narrative we've been sold. We are told to create systems and routines and schedule weekly date nights, so the idea of limiting ourselves to one date night a month will probably sound absurd to most of you listening, but scarcity has its own beauty. When something is limited, its value increases, so that one evening each month will probably be a date you remember for years to come, unlike your weekly calendar reminder that conveniently fits into your routine. And the same can be applied to money. Knowing you only have $300 to spend each month will change those mindless taps into mindful purchases that actually add value to your life. And ironically, it's within these restrictions where life begins to feel fuller. You stop living in a constant state of overstimulation and start living with intent. Discipline now has a new meaning. It stops becoming a task that you need to tick off and starts feeling like freedom. So in a world full of consumers where everyone is trying to buy happiness through expansion, what if you did the opposite and started chasing less? This doesn't mean you need to become a minimalist or frugal, but rather simplify your life. So you start noticing the joy that existed all along. As Rumi once said, you wander from room to room hunting for the diamond necklace that is already around your neck.